Hey, everybody. We're going to try Talking Head today because we got a tournament coming up. And yeah, we're paying for the software anyway, so why not use it? So, anyways, we got a GT coming up this weekend, guys. It's Heroes of Mid Table Winter GT because we do one for every season. Oh, what's this doing? And it's new software. And how do we do that? Okay, guys, we're just gonna go and talk about the contenders. We picked 5 lists from um, the the show here, and the GT coming up, and we're gonna go over them. And I got with me Mike and Mike and Danny. I take it you
Hey
guys can.
guys.
My stuff isn't muted.
And I don't think, yeah, I think I'm good.
Okay.
Yep, I'm good as well.
Okay. So here we go. Okay. So just looking at uh, making sure everything is good on our side.
Kaz is a bad person. That's
Yeah, I'm saving Kaz for the end because I have some choice. I have some choice things to say to Kaz.
nice.
Okay, guys. So we picked 5 lists here to go over. We picked Garry and his Black Templars, JT and his Drukhari, Jake and his Eldari, Kaz and his Ultramarines, and Noah from Aegeus Games, who got in at the last minute with his Chaos Knights. So this is an experiment, guys. So if, it'll be interesting to see if you're able to see what we're doing. I'm currently screen sharing my iPad on the side. We're gonna go and take a look at Garry's list. So let's throw this into export there so that it's easier to read.
Okay. I mean, I can rip through it if you want.
Yeah, go ahead here. We'll scroll through here while you read it off. What's Garry plan?
So I played a variant of his list. He's changed it up to Firestorm Assault over the Black Templar.
The basic one, the actual Black Templar.
Yeah. So what he's lost by doing that is he's lost his feel no pain, but he's gained a lot of strength in shooting and a lot of mobility in the army because everything now has assault. So he's got High Marshal Helbrecht, who just hits like just unbelievably hard in the game, and he'll be running him probably with the lieutenant. And then the Judiciar will be running with another probably Sword Brethren, and then you have the Emperor's Champion as well. So Emperor's Champion is just really good at taking out characters. Judiciar is going to have fight first, and the Helbrecht and the Lieutenant both give like fallback, shoot and charge, and Helbrecht just hits like a beast.
We're here. Let's scroll through it real quick. Then we got our 4 characters. We got High Marshal. Oh, we lost Danny. He'll be back. We got High Marshal. We got Judicar. We've got the Lieutenant with the Champion of Humanity. What exactly does the Champion of Humanity do?
The Champion of Humanity is, I believe, it's the 10-point upgrade, which ignores modifiers.
Oh, that's a pretty good 10 points.
Yeah. So the interesting thing is that is a regular lieutenant. It's not a Primaris lieutenant. So because you can only run the Champion of Humanity on, it's like Tacticus Marines. So it's only very certain models that can run it. So you can't put it on just any character. And then you got the Impulsor. So you've got the Transport there. You've got a Repulsor Executioner. So bringing some firepower, but a little bit of transport capacity.
Little bit.
And then
Can the 3 Devastators go in the Executioner?
No,
the Centurions?
They take up 3 per spot. You could put 3 Gravis in the Executioner, but he's going to have a squad of basically, he's going to have the Judiciar or the Blade or the Champion with a 5-man squad of Brethren in that. So, and then he's got 2 Infiltrator squads. And then the Devastators will actually they'll probably come in from reserve, so he'll be using them just off the board edge. And then 2 Infiltrator squads. That's how I had my Firestorm built out. Basically, secure your back line or march up with the army and keep GSC away from you. You got the Land Raider Redeemer, so you can't go near it without it flaming you. And also now, because it's in Firestorm, it's Strength 7 Flamers, not Strength 6. And then you've got 3 squads of Sword Brethren,
Correct.
all pretty much decked out. And then I think he's got a thing of scouts at the bottom. If we keep going down, where is it?
Yep, we got a Redemptor.
Oh yeah, one Redemptor and then the scout squad for
the
secondaries.
Redemptor with the plasma, because why would you not go plasma?
Exactly.
So what do you think of Gary's list here? You've played against it.
It's gonna hit very hard. It will fold a lot faster than when he was playing it as pure Black Templar, which is the Feel No Pain. Yeah, but it will hit very hard. You do not want to get into combat with this. It will and wipe most of your army. So
yeah, and the Firestorm, it likes the Redeemer likes being in Firestorm, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
So
yeah.
So he's got some transport jank. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing that's the thing about this list, that will get people off guard is that he can advance and shoot everything. So the Redemptor can run and pick you from different angles. Same with the tanks. And then with the Redeemer also having assault ramp, he can get all, like, two of the squads will be in it, and he'll dump those guys out, like run the Redeemer up 12 inches, dump 2 squads out, and then go after you. So
yeah, the Redeemer is is the best of the Land Raiders, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, by far. Yep.
Okay.
So scary list.
Don't think, because you're not able to disembark when you advance the Redeemer, correct?
No,
doesn't have a rope.
Only on a normal move.
Okay, so that's one of the offsides for that.
Yeah,
but the thing that go ahead.
Yeah, Miner's just saying Firestorm is all assault, so it's a serious rush list.
It is.
So the scary thing with the Redeemer is you put it on the line. It's T12, right? You can put smoke on it. You can, it's going to be in cover, so you can make it -1 to hit. All these things, right? So it's got a 2-up armor save, right? So you've got Armor of Contempt. So you could really, like, if you hit it with a las cannon, it's saving on 3s if you want to use Armor of Contempt, and then also most things will be hitting on 4s if you want to smoke it as well. So what's really crazy is you just launch it into the middle, you get an angle on something, flame the crap out of it, then they hit you back, and then you just next turn just get out and move and charge, or if you can get into the center with just a regular move, then when you flame, after you pop your guys out, you still flame, then they get to charge, right? So you don't want to be on the line across from it because it'll reach out and touch you. So
no, and then it's got huge Overwatch too, right? Like it just stands in the middle and nobody wants to go in it. The Redeemer, guys, is legit. Okay, well that's pretty much Gary's list. He's gonna run at people. He's gonna hit hard, or he's gonna go home. I think he's gonna miss that 5+ Feel No Pain. Myself personally, because Gary, if Gary's dice go cold, he's gonna be regretting it, not having that backup save. Okay, guys, let's move on to JT McDowell from Play on Tabletop. He won the last tournament that we hosted. For those of you guys that don't know, it's a 40-man GT out of Elder Grove, BC. Who wants to take a shot at this one? I know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Kaz.
I can always take a shot at this because I've been looking at Drukhari a little bit. Let's see. So we got 2 Archons here. Statistic Fulcrum and Spiteful Raider.
Here, I'm
a little rusty on the new enhancements for them, so let me just bring that up. I'll look at the rest of the list.
You want to look at the enhancements? That's not a problem.
Yeah, sure. Let's take a look. So he's got, I think you just passed them for a second there.
Did I?
Just on the phone.
Detachment.
Yes, they're just about
there. They are.
There we go. Let's see. So when you give a pain token to the bearer unit and the shooting phase, you can select transport the 3 to also get. That's kind of odd to give to the. Okay. So it works in the shooting phase and give it to a transport. Uh-oh.
Not a problem, boys. I just didn't hit the button on my battery backup.
Well, there you go. Second one. Then use an range for the one where objection the bears unit was selected to fight. You gain 1 additional. Okay, so when you destroy an enemy unit, fight phase while near objective, you get 2 pain tokens. And then the other one, when you basically get to bounce a pain token during the shooting phase. So let's go back to the list for a moment here. So he's got 2 Archons, one with each of those enhancements there. He's got Leo Hesperax, who's a fucking scary model to have at this point with what the benefits they can get. Blast pistols and husk blades on both Archons, and then let's see what he has for the battle line here. You want to just scroll down for a second here, Chris?
No, I'm good. I'm just I was just getting taking off my hoodie.
Okay. Just wanted to double check there. Oh, he's got 1 brick of 10 Cabalites. Looks like he's got a Dark Lance Shredder, usual load up there, split cannon, splinter rifle, 10 man unit of witches. He has a Raider. Let's see, only 1 Venom. Cord of the Archon, bunch of little friends, 1 unit of Incubi, Mandrake's Ravager. He's got 2 Ravagers in this list. And then I believe he's got a little fun surprise at the end. 2 Ravagers, 2 units of Scourges, 3 units of 2 Talos, and a Tantalus.
Ooh,
Okay.
big boy.
That explains the lack of multiple Venoms in this list.
So what is the Tantalus?
So it is a giant boat. It has a transport capacity of, I want to say 25 models. Let me just bring it up here to
16.
double check. It's
16.
16 models. Okay. So what it'll probably be will be, he'll probably have one of the Archons attached to the 10-man Cabalite units.
It's got firing deck 16.
Yeah.
It does. So whatever you put in there, we'll be able to shoot out no problem.
It's like a big 3-headed raider, basically. I think, right? Isn't it? Or 2-headed?
It's 2 raiders glued side by side.
Yeah.
What I could probably see him doing is he's got a couple options here. I think he can run the Scourges in the boat so that they can pop out, shoot, move, get back in the boat, and the boat can then shoot with firing decks. So that's a little bit of a cheesy thing there, I believe. Because they're making a normal move when the raiders shoot, move, shoot.
Yeah.
They can re-embark. There's the... So he's got the Raider. He's got a lot of options he can fiddle around with. His Raider,
the new detachment, wasn't there something that could like get out, hit you, and then get back in without?
Well,
yeah,
even in like engagement or something. I was just trying to.
Yeah, that is. Let's bring that.
The new detachment rule is called Reign of Cruelty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it says
it's one of the strategies.
Yeah. Well, the detachment rule, the new detachment rule really leans on transport. So I mean, the Tantalus makes sense, right? Because they get out, they ignore covers when they shoot, and they get lance if they have with their melee.
Oof.
Right. So it's a complete rewrite, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost Danny again, but that's okay. He'll be back.
I know when I was listening to some people talk about witches were quite scary again because of the lance, right? Even though they're only strength 3, like they're gonna, they're wounding you +1, right? So, any kind of infantry they're gonna be doing quite well into. And then I know that they have a lot of anti-infantry shooting as well, and then also just a ton of dark lances. So
is the secret tech here the Tantalus? Is that what we're really curious about?
I think that's a JT favorite.
Yes, he seems to be having a bit of a laugh to himself in chat there.
JT's in the chat.
Lilith. Yeah, Lilith, I think, I was just about to bring her up. I think she gives some strength. Oh, yeah. So she now makes the witches strength 4. Then if they popping out, they're getting lance, and they also get AP add AP 1. So
yeah,
Garry.
Now, what I'm curious about here is the Talos, because I know there's virtually no benefit for them in this detachment. None of the stratagems, can't go in transports, they don't get anything. But I do know they are a good data sheet, and I believe he's running them with the Haywire Blasters.
Yep, he is.
Yeah. So that one's going to be a pretty good gun.
Yeah, 24-inch range, anti-vehicle 4+, devastating wounds, twin linked.
They're annoying
Damage
even if you're not a vehicle. Yep.
Damage 3. Yeah, that's pretty the twin link with devastating with anti-vehicle 4+, that's legit.
Yeah.
7 wounds, 3+ save, 4+ in 6+ invul. So what do we think of that list?
Oh, it's gonna
I
hurt.
think it's going to come down to how JT uses it, and from what I know about him, he's probably going to use it pretty fucking well. It leans a lot into the strengths of old 9th edition Drukhari. I do worry a little bit just due to how some lists might be prepared to handle it. I know this event, I saw there was a majority of Space Marines, several Chaos Demon players, a couple Chaos Knights, and then that was the majority on that end. So they might come away pretty well from this because there's not a huge ton of indirect, and there weren't many Vanguard lists. So 3-inch deep strikes might not be too much of a problem.
He definitely has enough
I
dark
know
lenses.
maybe. We'll have to see. But I do think there's a lot of options for play here. So we'll have to see how it turns out for JT here.
Well, I will say I'm glad JT is back playing Drukhari and not some bastardized version of elves. He is going to try to reclaim his, like Scary is the true Archon. So because JT gave it up for a little bit in his quest for glory. He won the last event with a bastardized version of what Yunari.
Yep.
Because you just can't give up those free rerolls. That's like a drug. We'll see how he does this time around. Okay, let's go on to Jake. So Jake's an MTT guy. He's on Team Mid-Table Tactics, and he will not give up the Eldar because I don't think he can walk away from all those rerolls.
Yeah. And
I shall not bite my tongue, JT.
and the dice. He probably can't give up the fate dice. So
who knows their Eldar? I mean, I played a version of this, so I mean, I'll give it a real quick one. So Wayleaper with the Phoenix Gem, Fugan, because why not? I mean, it's always nice when he stands back up, right?
Yeah.
Corandus, you know what? I don't know who that is.
So
that is the Scorpion Exarch. Not Exarch, sorry. Beam Lord.
Right. Yes, Dan Miner has it right. He goes, Jake is a fate dice junkie. Then he's got himself a solitaire. And now comes what we should almost call this like the everything in threes, because that's basically what he's done. He's got 3 Falcons with pulse laser, shuriken cannon, twin shuriken, catapult, and Wraithbone Hall. Then he's got 3 Fire Dragons, all the same. And then he's got 3 Shadow Specters, all the same. And then he's got 3 Swooping Hawks, all the same. Oh, hold on, guys. Are you ready for this? 3 units of Warp Spiders, all the same. And that is his list. It is a crap ton of infantry. I think he's leaned into being everywhere.
Yeah, this list is going to score very well. There is some hard-hitting parts of it, but it is just going to be everywhere, all over the board. It's going to be in your back line, everywhere.
And I think it'll score well for secondary. Sorry to interrupt here, but I do question primary. He doesn't have anything here that necessarily holds centerboard very well, other than maybe Fugan.
Well, yeah, Fugan definitely. And doesn't the Wayleaper with the what's that gem do? The Phoenix Gem? So it makes him stand back up as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to try to really hold the middle. I think this list is hold an objective, like your own objective, hold your secondary, primary objective, and just be everywhere else on the board.
Right.
And try to steal your home, try to steal the other one. I don't think he's really going to want to be in the middle with this that much. I think he just wants to be on the fringes, right? Because that he can score a lot of secondaries that way.
Well, he's got a little bit of transport there too, right? He's got the 3, they hold 6. So I would imagine Fire Dragons might be going in there.
Likely. They're the only unit that would make sense for that, just to take advantage of the real wounds. All the other units are mobile enough they don't need the transports.
Yeah, definitely. Shadow Specters and what do you call it? The Swooping Hawks and Warp Spiders are just going to get around.
Yeah, I mean this list. If you breathe on it, like if you can get angles, if you can
that's
see
the solitaire.
him, they will die. Right? It's just there's so many bodies that even though you start to wipe them out, there's so many more bodies coming back in. So
yeah, he took the solitaire for the lone op. I can see. I was wondering.
Look forward.
Yeah, go ahead.
With my Gray Knights, I look very much forward to running into this list.
Oh, he melts. If you get a line of sight on any of all those units, instantly die.
Mm-hmm. Oh, especially the Storm Bolters. Storm Bolters are just gonna go. See ya.
Oh, the Redeemer loves this list. Don't move. If the Redeemer's in the middle, it's like pick what you want to die, Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Dan Miner here. Dan Miner's like very, very mobile, but squishy. Very, very squishy.
Yep.
Okay, moving on. We'll skip Kaz. We'll give Danny wants to go over Mr. Knight. These are knights. So
correct. So Chaos Knights. He's running a Stress Knight Lancer, Lord of Dread, which correct me if I'm wrong, but it should be start of combat phase to an enemy unit with an engagement range. They have to take a battle strike test.
Correct.
He's got a War Dog Stalker with Chain Cannon, Heavy Stubber, Slaughter Claw, and Aura of Terror, which lets him stick in the objective. And the sticky objective will give a -1 leadership aura off of it as well, which does not stack with the usual rule for Chaos Knights because it's the exact same. Now he has, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brigands because they're a battle line.
I think they're 5. I think he's got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
5 brigands, 3 carnivores, correct?
Yes, 3 carnivores.
And then a unit of Nurglings, and then 2 units of Nurglings. So this one's a little interesting. So the whole idea behind this list is that it's trying to leverage the range outputs. He does have Havoc multi-launchers on all the brigands, but the carnivores as well have stubbers, which is interesting. Normally when Chaos Knight players run the Stalker and the carnivores, they also do the indirect. I'm wondering if he wants just the volume of direct fire as well. For guaranteed.
I have a question for you. So
what's that?
The Wardar Brig, we're going to bring it up here. And it says, each time this model makes a range attack, the closest eligible enemy unit improve the armor penetration characteristics by attack by 1. His Havoc launchers screw him here, don't they?
Depends. So a lot of times the targets you'll want to hit with the Havoc launchers are going to be beyond that.
No. It affects. It's an ability for the model. So if you have a unit that's behind a wall that you can't see with the chain cannon, you do not get your +1 AP, sir.
Correct. So that comes down to positioning, which is where the Lancer comes in. So the Knight Lancer has a 6-inch bubble of assault.
Yes, he does. Oh, we lost Danny, who was about to talk it. Yeah. But while we're... Oh, he's back. He's back.
Apologies.
Nope, no worries.
Having some technical issues. Should be solved for the next show. Anyways, so the whole idea is that the Lancer here gives a 6-inch bubble of assault. That can work very well for helping reposition the War Dogs up close to trying to leverage the extra AP, but more importantly, deal with the thermal spears. Brigands suffer the issue where they have a 24-inch threat range. They don't really do damage beyond 12 inches. And what they do is usually either just volume of low damage or not very reliable, just to being flat D6.
Mm-hmm.
So this lets you throw brigands up to 18 inches through a wall with assault and then still blast with T6 plus 4 damage shots. There is the minor point that yes, if a unit shows up behind a wall nearby, it does screw the AP a bit. That's something you need to try and plan for when you're positioning with these guys. So that is going to come down to whether or not you can play that outright.
It's interesting that the Brigand has BS skill 2.
Yes,
that's interesting.
I know we don't see a lot of them up here.
That's the only reason you see it. All the other Warlogs that hit on 3s are pretty bad sometimes.
Well, the
It's just
carnivore
not
flips the
reliable.
other way, right? Because the weapon skill is 2 on a carnivore,
Yes.
which is interesting.
And that's why it shows up as well, because it's the only good melee warlock, because the other ones aren't reliable, because the army doesn't really have rerolls. And even Imperial Knights with the rerolls are so-so. So it's just the hitting on 2s.
As a demon player, the reason why I was eyeballing Briggs is because the 2+ means they can operate on their own, right? They are a great sheet. I question the taking of the Havoc launchers on them. While we're here, we might as well talk about this too.
Yes. So a couple things first. So one thing to note is that the Havoc launchers of Brigands, they also hit on 2's base.
Yep.
So that means when you're indirecting, you're hitting on 3s at worst.
I just hate that he's given his opponent agency to mess with the AP.
It's pretty hard because if you're going to be that close to deny it, you're also in range for the carnivores to walk through a wall and punch you in the face.
Yeah, but shooting comes before walking through walls.
It does. So that's where it comes down to positioning. There is some agency there, but anyways.
Let's talk about the shock charge. Yes.
Tank shock. Honestly,
tank shock.
Yeah. And you could do it twice in a turn.
So he did talk to Shane about that. You can do it twice in a turn. You can't do it twice with the same model.
Correct. It has to be different models.
Yeah, but still pretty double tank shock on knights that go through walls. Pretty spicy. I like the fact that in the command bunker he has so few data sheets.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah,
it's kind of nice. Okay,
what does the stalker do?
What is this?
If it targets a unit that has no other friendly units within 6 inches, it gets +1 and win against that unit. It's kind of hard to get off. It usually doesn't do a whole lot. It's usually there because it's a character and it can take an enhancement. I'm curious why he ran that instead of another carnivore. Probably because he wanted to have access to sticky objectives. That's probably the only reason why.
Yeah, it's probably going to sticky his home objective in a lot of games.
Yeah, it's there for I can't remember. Was Places of Power for the event taking place?
Oh, which one? Sorry.
For the primary, was there a Sites of Power mission?
No Sites of Power.
Okay, so that I am a little curious on that front. Then might have just been a spare points thing.
Okay, so what's your conclusion on this list there?
I think this is probably on the best you're going to get for Chaos Knights at the moment. Little light on carnivores. I do like a bit more melee whenever I play them, but it's still a pretty good list.
Yeah, you had to make room for that Lancer. That Lancer is the spice, right?
Yes, it is.
All right, that's the guy that's going to be coming through a wall, Kool-Aid Man style, right into you, right?
And it has a 14-inch move, so it has enough to at least get around the board a bit. I know the Rampage is the other comparison. It only has a 12-inch move, but once per game it can advance and charge. But it doesn't have a 4-bindle of melee like the Lancer does. So it's
and it's Lord of Dread. So as soon as it gets into engagement range with you, then you have to take a battle shock test.
Which is good because if you fail the battle shock test, then it's a case of tank shock, battle shock test. If you fail, terror shades, you throw a grenade at them essentially, and they can heal off of that.
And then we get our last list because we're going with 5. Is this one right here? That's Cat. I named that list Kaz is a bad person because it's the exact list that he did bad things to 3 of us at an RTT. One of those people being me. So let's go over Kaz is a bad person.
It's called the Turn 2 Terror List.
This list is savage. It made me question some of my life choices. It was particularly bad. Okay, so he's playing Ultramarines because it's Kaz, right? That's what he does. Yep. He's got the Apothecary Biologus with the blade driven deep, right? And he's got Marnius Calgar. When I played him, Marnius Calgar and the Biologus were both in a unit of 6 Eradicators so that they could advance and shoot. And then he has, what's that, Ventress?
Yep.
Yeah. Ventress, I point at, I don't even have to see the unit. I just pick a unit and it goes up into Deep Strike.
Mm-hmm.
That is kind of bonkers, because as you see as we go through this, why that's bonkers, and it's right there. It's called the Centurion Devastator Squad that will start on the table, and Ventress will point at it, and it will go into deep strike. If you're so unfortunate as to go first, so that that Devastator unit can go up and down on turn 1, that is just a bad day. Right? Then he's got a company of heroes. When I played him, that just stayed on his home objective. It's a whole bunch of wounds. It's not particularly easy to get rid of. Then here comes the
I think that's what
Eradicator
Ventress goes into, right? Because Ventress is a captain.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then it's like 20 wounds.
Yeah.
A
It's
minus 1 to
ridiculous.
wound. Yeah, 20 wounds, minus 1 to wound Marines. Yeah.
Yeah. It's spicy.
I have my box of them right here.
Yeah. We got a unit of 6 Eradicators. We got a unit of 3 Eradicators. We've got a unit of 6 Plasma Interceptors, a unit of 3 Bolters, another unit of 6 Plasma, and then rounding out the whole thing is 2 units of Scouts, and then you got the Assassin, and you got the Henchman. And, this is a very efficient list. It is. I'm gonna go with Dan Miner. Yes, this list is bonkers.
I have my Inquisitor Henchman stand-ins right here that I'm putting together.
I don't know what to say other than Kaz. Obviously, he's now a member of Art of War. He's also a member of Team Canada, and he went from putting. I don't know if he just took all his effort and went from being a hobbyist to being a mean person on the table, because oh my god, his turn 2 against me, like I was playing my Death Watch and I knew like I'm not going to beat Kaz with Marines. I mean, he's a Marine specialist. I got 23 points before he tabled me, like, and then he went through Jake like a hot night. He got 100 off me, he got 100 off Jake and his Eldar, which is a little bit different than what you saw Jake playing at this tournament, but very similar in the sense that it was very spammy. And then he got 100 going into Liam's Necrons. So he came out of the RTT with the full 300 points, and he went through 3 members of Team Mid-Table Tactics. Like hot knife through butter.
So
it's a good list.
I got for you. If you have like, let's say 900 points or 800 points of deep strike, and then you first turn pull guys in the deep strike, so it's technically over 1,000. It still doesn't break the. You can only have 1,000 points.
Nope.
Right? Yeah, because they can start on the board, right?
Yeah. No, because the restriction is before the battle begins. So very, very mean list. It will catch you off guard. It has a little bit of everything. What's biologist. What's in the henchman?
Yeah. What units are they? Just acolytes?
I think it's just the 4 acolytes with a plasma pistol and eviscerator.
Yeah.
It's a 40-point cheap unit to hold objective.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but I definitely say, it was funny because going into that event, I was saying to myself, why did they hit Inceptor so bad? And then I played Kaz, and I was like, they should go up more. They should go up a lot more.
Yeah.
There's Danny.
Yep.
Yeah. So depending on if he plays, so this will be really interesting. If he plays Gary's list can give this list, I think, a bit of a run. And the reason is the 2 infiltrator squads, because that will deny a lot of the deep strike.
I don't think that's gonna be enough.
Well, it all depends on how Gary plays it. If Gary plays as aggressive as he can, and he goes second, I think. Well, see, I don't know if you want to go second or first, just because if you go second, then you can't. The big block's not going to hit you in your
Until
first turn.
2. Yeah.
Yeah. So
the issue is
interesting.
Is that Devastator squad wants to be beyond 12. It doesn't care about getting within 12.
Yeah.
Because they want to drop it down, spend a CP, give it extra AP potentially, and plus some ballistic skill, and just pick up stick shit. I don't know if the infiltrators are going to be enough.
I had 2 units, and it didn't help me.
Yeah.
Oh, you had 2 units of infiltrators? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So here's the thing: you get like obviously I didn't play, like I was unaware of the Death Star I was about to face. So I was Tatooine or whatever. I got blown to hell. Like,
Yeah.
but the thing is, he's got the scouts to push your infiltrators back if he gets the roll first. So
Yeah.
you're going to be fighting over the middle ground. I put my infiltrators up front, and then he just came behind me.
Yeah.
So I would suggest put your infiltrators behind you, so he has to land in front of you.
Yeah,
is what I would do.
If they play on map 1, Garry will also have a pretty good advantage on that map, because that would help because the middle box will be severely limited to where the guys can shoot from. And then the interesting thing also with that is, like, what do you get when you drop? You get you can spend a strat for +1 AP, and then what else was it?
Oh,
Plus one AP
That's it,
and
right?
plus one broken skill.
Okay, so let's say, he's gonna try and take his Devastators into, like, the Land Raider. They're gonna be AP4, which if you're in cover and you use Armor of Contempt, you're saving on 4s. It could survive, right? It's gonna
Maybe.
be very difficult. It's the twin link that's the issue on that, right? It's because, you're still wounding on 4s, but it's twin linked. So
Don't forget the 6 Eradicators with Marnius and a biologist. That unit is going to be very scary. I
yeah,
don't know how that would turn out. It's going to come down to a lot to who goes first, positioning, and what Garry does with the infiltrators.
yeah.
Those 6 Eradicators can be AP -5, and with enough
Yep.
positioning to infiltrate the board, advance, and shoot.
Yeah, and don't
But
forget,
that's
he's got a
wounding-
reactive
Still wounding on 5s. Still wounding on 5s, right?
re-rolling.
Re-rolling, and they're going to have
No, I
lethals.
know.
Yeah, and lethal.
Oh, because
Yeah.
of the
Biologist.
biologist.
Yeah.
And don't forget, he's got a reactive move. So you go to charge them, right? It's only he has to roll a dice, but still, I mean, he's just basically going to add D6 to your charge. That's basically what he does.
Yeah. I think if Garry goes second, map 1, I think he has a chance. If he goes first, map 1, it'll be harder, definitely harder. And if it's not map 1, it depends on the mission, right? I mean, it all depends on those lanes. If he can block those lanes out, he has a chance. So,
well, let's take a look at that. What are the missions? Mission 1, round 1 is mission F, round 2 is mission L. Oh, of course he just put the mission. He didn't actually put what it is. So now I'd have to look that up too. I'm not going to.
Let me bring it up.
I can find it for you here.
But
so
of these 5 lists, which we think are probably the better players and lists coming.
Yeah.
I mean,
what were they again? So F is number 1.
I put it away, so I'm not. I'm not too worried about it. But let's just talk about these 5 guys real quick. Who is the worst of those 4 other guys? Who is the worst matchup for Kaz of those guys?
JT may be tough because it's fast and he's got a lot in that list. You don't think so?
So it comes down to if he can crack the Tantalus by dropping down the Inceptors and the Dev Squad, then that could be a pretty good chance. I think the Inceptors could probably crack it, and then Ditto Blast the missile launchers for the Dev, maybe deal with that. There is a lack of volume in Kaz's list, but he's got just enough, I want to say. If that Devastator squad gets tagged, that might be a lot harder for Kaz to deal with shit. So it really comes down to whether or not that gets touched.
Does Kaz just lift Noah's list?
Oh,
yeah. I don't know. That's not an easy matchup for Chaos Knights. They have 1 axis for
all the rerolls are going to be crazy.
Twin links on the stuff that's going to matter. He's got the range. He's got anti-tank. Those Eradicators are going to just pick up War Dogs like they're nothing, unless he spikes saves. So it's really coming down to if the dice are in his favor.
I'm going to go and I'm just going to say it. I think that Kaz is the favorite.
There are some other attendees that might give him some trouble, not in the top 5 here, but I do think there are some individuals that could probably give him a run for his money potentially. It just comes down to what pairing, like how he gets paired up, and placements.
I do like JT being able to get around the board and spread out and zone out. And also Jake has that ability too. There's just the sad part about Jake is he dies to storm bolters, so it doesn't matter. Like he's just gonna die. Yeah, he's just gonna die. So, well, guys, that was us basically going through here and looking at our top 5, who we thought were the top 5 contenders going into the mid-table GT. We're gonna do I think we're gonna do a dark horse or interesting list 5 in the next day or two, and we're gonna go through the list and pick out some interesting, less power gamey, less Garry, less Kaz type of lists. Some fun ones. Unfortunately, I'm not playing, so there won't be 6 Demon Princes unless me and Mike are able to find a way to fit another table in.
It's okay,
and we're going to try.
There's a fellow for Chaos Demons bringing Be'lakor, Chalaxi, 3 Keeper of Secrets, and 3x10 Demonettes.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I just wish Demons had an alternate. Don't get me started. That's another whole other video that we can do. Yeah, the dark horse. But yeah, guys, if you like this video, if you like this style of video, if you want us to see do more of these, just like and comment down below. It helps us out. We're probably going to start doing, I'm going to try to do some pregame videos where I grab the guys that play on Sunday. We go over the lists and the matchup, and we'll do a little 30-minute pregame show the night before. Yeah, I guess that's it. You know what I didn't just on the design? You know what I didn't do? I didn't put the thanks for watching.
Welcome to your cut off. Hopefully we'll have technical issues next time.
Yeah, no, for sure. Hopefully, we'll look forward to seeing about doing this again. And I think we're just going to wrap it up. I guess we kind of technically do have a sponsor. If you guys been watching our shows and there's more stuff coming and it will be in this format, Daniel Knight down here in the bottom right corner there is painting up a knight that was given to us by Proxy Wars, and he's currently assembling it and critiquing it and going over it. And there will be a game with that knight.
I highly recommend Proxy Wars. They have really good prints.
Yeah, no, we're pretty happy with Proxy Wars, guys. I mean, the guys in our backstage area that have got their hands on their models are now going through their entire collection and looking at what to buy.
There's Mechanicus Dinobots. I must get them.
Yes, they are amazing. Okay, guys. Anything else you guys want to say before I hit the end stream button? Because I don't have any graphic to put up. I think I'll just throw up the image, the background image, and we'll call it a day. Okay, guys.
See you guys later.
Okay, guys, and that's it for us, and we will see you next time. Also, if you haven't noticed the scrolling at the bottom there, guys. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do a couple commercials because I can. Okay, guys. Let's see. Oh, there you go. It did show up. West Coast GT. 141 of the 200 tickets are sold, guys. QR code on the screen will get you to the BCP link, right? Might as well do these while we're here. Okay. And another one that we're going to March 8th, Cascade Clash GT. Wow, that actually sold quite a bit. It's up to 101 out of 150 tickets. I remember when that thing was at 18. Like they were really struggling to sell. And then, of course, no, you don't get to come back then. You stay in the background. The best way to support the stream, guys, for YouTube memberships, $4.99 a month. As you've seen, that's been scrolling on the ticker down below. We'd like to give a shout out to Chainsaw Burr, Mac Thompson, Alex Y, Enemy, and Donald Plummer. Sadly, we lost Jay Falco. and that's it, guys. I'm just going to hit the end stream button, and we're going to call it. Say goodbye.